Welcome back to the One Shot Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Vincent.
And I'm Johnny.
In this episode, we break down Jon Favreau's hidden gem, and then we rate it on 4 different scales: acting, plot, rewatchability, and overall rating.
To stay in touch with us, please follow us on our socials. Instagram is at One Shot Movie Podcast Official. Facebook and TikTok is One Shot Movie Podcast. Twitter and Letterboxd is One Shot Movie Pod. So today we are obviously breaking down Chef, kind of an underrated movie, under talked about as well, I feel like.
I feel like it's very underrated. The only time I've seen it is on TikTok, and that's the reason why I actually went and I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. It's very wholesome.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot. It's not amazing, but it's a fun, heartwarming, well felt out movie by Jon Favreau. Obviously, if you didn't know, he directed it. He wrote the whole thing. He stepped away from Marvel and for a little bit, and then he did this movie, and then went back to Marvel, obviously, for the Spider-Man films. So let's hop into it.
Also, he went back to Disney to do The Mandalorian, to produce The Mandalorian. I wouldn't say this movie's bad. I do like cooking, like movies and shows. Like The Bear is fantastic.
I was just going to mention that. I feel like it's really similar to The Bear in terms of certain aspects of the food itself.
Yes.
But obviously the stories are different.
There's also another good like chef cooking movie. It's called Burnt. It's with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, I heard about that. I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it.
It was good. Yeah. It was very interesting and very good. And the thing is with a lot of these cooking chef movies, they have very good shots and very good close-ups, and like you see people cutting, you see people like cutting food, cutting, all that stuff, and like prepping the food, and it's beautiful how they do it.
These are hungry movies. So you need a snack while you watch them. I did.
The one scene where they got the brisket.
Oh my god,
dude! I wanted it. I was so hungry. Bad.
That made me really hungry. I was having some chocolate covered pretzels eating those while I was watching this movie. But obviously, Chef, it's a comedy / indie film. That's the genre, with a runtime of 1 hour and 54 minutes. So a relatively quick film. Yeah. In today's day and time. I just feel like it was, in terms of the runtime, I feel like it was short, but it kind of needed a little bit more oomph.
I feel like I was a little, and I don't want to say upset at the ending. I enjoyed the ending. Yeah. But I would have liked to see a little bit more. Just a few more minutes.
I feel that crazy way, just not with the ending. I feel like throughout the entire film there were shots that it was just missing. Yeah. Like especially in the beginning, you have Dr. Charles from Chicago Med, who is the food critic. He comes in and they're all like, "Oh my god, like this is like make or break," and they don't show a single thing of him being there. Right. For the first time. And, like, I feel like that would have been important to see him, sit down, have his food. And obviously you see it the second time when he comes back, but, like, show something different about it his first time. He's like, in the building for the first time. He's excited because of how big Chef Casper's food is and how well-known he is. Like, maybe show some sort of interaction with him or something, and then it just, it cuts, and then you don't see anything. I think that was
the whole point, though. Yeah. To give him a little animosity and a little... kind of
coldness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Because the second time around we see him and he's eating the food and he's like, this is the same shit that I had the last time. And it's like, I don't want this.
Yeah, well, I know he's like supposed to be secretive. They blur out his face in the beginning of it with, I think, the website. And then, like, I don't know, it's very secretive.
And then, like, he's also in the shadows when he first... like enters the restaurant and then we finally see him and all that stuff. Yeah. I gotta say, that guy's a fucking amazing actor.
I love him.
He's insane. Awesome. He's great in The Bear. He's great in
Chicago Med.
Chicago Med. I see it all over TikTok.
Me and my girlfriend watch Chicago Med all the time. Well, really? she watches it, but I'm kind of invested. I just don't let her know that I'm invested. Just because it's a good show. Yeah. I like medical shows. I watched Grey's Anatomy, 13 seasons of it years ago, and I can't keep up now.
Even the clips I see of Grey's Anatomy, I'm still like, oh my god. Like, it's just so dramatic.
Of course it is. Every episode, somebody's like on their last breath. Same thing with Chicago Med.
You know what's a good one? The Resident.
Resident. I've heard of that too. That's something I want to get into.
It's all over TikTok as well. That's a good one. My girlfriend just started watching that one. She like every now and then, like if there's no hockey on, because she just got into hockey just like me. If there's no hockey on, she's like, can we watch The Resident? And I'm like, yeah, sure. But that's a good one too. Yeah. There's so many good ones. I mean, Chicago Med, The Resident. There's another
something similar is The Rookie. It's a police show,
with Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, also really good.
There's
Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD.
Chicago Fires with Rob Lowe, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't watched any of those ones, but
like the clips on TikTok are just so good.
Yeah, but it only shows the good little snippets of it. It doesn't show like the
whole show. 911.
Yeah. All the shows are the same, you know what I mean? They have like the Grey's Anatomy spinoff, which was the with the firefighter guy. I can't remember his name. He worked at the hospital. They
actually made a spinoff of Grey's Anatomy?
I believe so. I don't remember what the heck it was called. Is the show
still going? Is Grey's Anatomy done?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I think they had like one last season or like something like that, but I could be wrong.
I was
going
to
on
say,
20 seasons.
They gotta be done.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I stopped watching after like 2016, so like I was 14 seasons in or 13 seasons in, and I was like,
when?
No, I just can't.
Is that when he dies?
A little bit after.
Okay.
A good amount after he died, yeah. But let's hop it back into Chef. The release date for this film was a couple years ago, actually. Well, almost a decade ago. Isn't that crazy?
Couple years ago, my guy.
I feel like I'm always just in this consistent 2017.
Yeah, I feel like it's always 2018.
Yeah, it's prime Fortnite and everything like that. But no, this movie's almost a decade old.
Speaking of, go play some Fortnite. The OG.
Fortnite OG.
Played a little bit last night.
Pretty fun. That's a whole other topic and conversation for another time. But this was, like I said, almost released a decade ago, March 7th of 2014. And it's November now. So
very soon it'll be a decade.
That's crazy, man. Time flies. So this movie also has a R rating, which I think was a good idea. It gives it like that, like really strong chef feel.
Yeah, of course. If you've ever worked in a kitchen, you know how it is.
It's cutthroat.
Oh my god,
it is,
dude.
Yeah.
It's
pretty. What's the word for it? It shows it really well.
Yeah,
it interprets it really well.
If you've ever worked in a kitchen, you'll hear some interesting word choices.
Yeah, to say the least. Yeah. But the plot of this movie was really good, and I think people are misinterpreting what the actual plot of this film is. So I'll let you read it, and then I'll give you my thoughts on what I actually think it is.
So after a controlling owner, Dustin Hoffman, pushes him too far, Chef Carl Casper, Jon Favreau, quits his position at a pristine Los Angeles restaurant. As he tries to figure out what his next steps should be, he finds himself in Miami. Carl joins forces with his ex-wife, Sofia Vergara, best friend, John Leguizamo, and son,
that was pretty good,
Emjay Anthony, to launch a food truck business, and the venture provides a chance to reignite his passion for cooking, as well as his zest for life and love.
It's not bad at all, the plot here, but like a lot of things I've been seeing is reignite his passion. He said that he never lost his passion.
No, it's just that he wasn't able to.
He wasn't to show it,
right?
You know, because he wasn't able to do his own menu and everything like that.
Which
so I don't like that aspect of it.
Which, as a chef, you gotta be able to do your own menu.
I know.
Gotta be able to do your own menu.
I agree.
Because if you're not, then what are you cooking for?
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
But for me, I feel like this whole movie is about the relationship of
father and son.
Oh, like, I feel like that is the whole entire plot.
Oh, yeah. And that's a huge part of this movie. Huge.
Yeah. And you see it. Like he said in the beginning of the movie, he's not a good dad. He doesn't think he was a good husband. Obviously, he's divorced. And his son, he said, like, I don't know my son. He's at that weird age.
Yeah.
And then, Sofia Vergara says, like, I think it was her. Or no, sorry. It was, as we jump into the cast eventually, Scarlett Johansson, or Molly, she says to him, take this time and spend with him, get to know him. And I think that was really important. That kind of pushed him. Obviously, it's supposed to, because that's part of the story. But I feel like that is the driving point for him to, like, okay, like, let me get my shit together. Like, I had, am I just going to sit around and do nothing? Like
the one scene where after they, they were going through all the states, they did that, and it's just him and his son sitting up there. Dude, that killed me.
I started to, like, get emotional.
Yeah, he was like, you're going to have to go back to school and do all that. And I was like,
I know. I was like, oh shit.
I was like, man, come on.
Kind of crushing.
You just.
Yeah, like they had such a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, this movie is all about the relationship, and I feel like they showed it really well. It was a slow progression throughout the film, but in terms of pacing for this film, I feel like it was a little bit off. Yeah. I feel like it took too long to get to food truck. You know?
I think a little bit. Like the job search scenes were a little too.
I don't know. I just feel like the different acts were like totally like spread out, and I don't know. I wasn't a fan of. Not that I like. Obviously, I said I liked this movie. I enjoyed it, but I feel like some certain things were off that I feel like they should have, you know, maybe not placed elsewhere, but like spent more time in certain spots and like, you know, not go too quick with certain things.
I think the pacing was good, because he freaks out, it goes viral, you know, and then you know he's kind of blacklisted or blackballed from all the, you know. Nobody wants to hire him and all the other jobs, and you know nobody wants to hire him. And you even hear him say in the beginning, "I'm not going to work in a food truck," and then obviously it has to change.
I didn't like that they mentioned it right away because like you knew that exactly that's what was going to happen, and I mean it's right in the trailer too.
But obviously, you know, you see he can't get a job. His view has to change. He's got to do something. And then the whole scene where they go down to I think Mexico. Oh, it is Miami. Yeah. Why did I think it's? I always I thought it was like
that's where he got his first job. That's where the kid was born.
And like he had the sandwich, and he was like, you know what? Maybe I can do something with this.
It was cool. I like that scene, and especially because like she convinced him to go there just because he would meet her ex-husband, and you know. They would launch this food truck business,
right? And like cool. It was also a good thing that he went down and like because she even told him, he was like, wow, the sandwich is fantastic, the sandwich is so good, and she goes, yours are better.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like
she was waiting for that moment. I think. And that was pretty well done. So what do you think? You want to hop right into the cast?
Yeah. So. Up first, we have Jon Favreau as Carl Casper. He is known from Iron Man 1, 2, 3, Avengers Endgame.
Yep.
He wasn't in Infinity War. Nope. He was in Spider-Man Homecoming. He was Pat Vizsla in The Mandalorian. And then I think, obviously, he was in his own probably indie films and stuff like that as well. Happy Hogan, great character in the Iron Man films.
Yeah.
Just hilarious. And I think he did a very good job in The Mandalorian as well. R.I.P. though.
Yeah.
He is dead.
Yeah, I know.
If you haven't seen the newest season of The Mandalorian, sorry.
I don't know what you're doing.
But yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. Up next, we have Sofia Vergara as Inez. Obviously, she's known for Modern Family as well as a million other different projects.
She's now a host on America's Got Talent, too.
Is she really?
I think so. I think she's
I didn't know that.
a judge on America's Got Talent. Not the host, the judge. She's
they
a
just
judge.
Like let anybody.
I mean, they kind of went back to the original.
Did they? See, I don't watch reality TV.
I think
so.
That's. I mean, I guess that's
considered
TV.
reality. I don't really know. You know what I mean? I don't really watch shows like that.
Well, they tried to change up the judges with like, who is it? Jennifer something.
Lopez?
No, I don't know. Like they tried to change up the judges and then it didn't work, so they went back to like Mel B, Heidi.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Sofia Vergara is on there, Howie and Simon.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they went back to like because I think everybody was just kind of saying yes to any kind of good talent.
Yeah.
Like with the new judges instead of actually judging,
analyzing the talent. Yeah. Okay.
Which the other ones did. But yeah, I know she's now. I'm pretty sure now she's a judge on America's Got Talent.
Interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but obviously everybody knows her from Modern Family.
Yeah.
Up next we have Scarlett Johansson as Molly. Once again, Marvel.
This is Jon Favreau.
Widow.
I mean, this is exactly what you expect. There's so many guys and women here that are in Marvel MCU, so it just makes sense that they're all in this project.
He's got the connections where he can just be like, hey, you know, I want you to play this character. You know, come join my film.
Yeah, come shoot for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then Yeah. Bam, bam, boom, you're done. All these Marvel characters only had limited roles, so it's not like it was really strenuous.
Yeah, exactly. Scarlett Johansson, known for Iron Man 2 when she first appeared, and then from there on, she was in the rest of the series pretty much.
Marriage Story, good movie.
Yes, with Adam Driver. Yeah,
good fun.
She was also in a bunch of other stuff. What was the one? There was one, I can't think of the name, where she like turns into an AI thing. Like, you know what I'm talking? I gotta look
an AI.
It was really bad. I'm pretty sure.
But I don't know. I was gonna look it up, but
it was like, I'm pretty sure it was like really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucy. Here, I'll read the.
I don't know if I've heard of that. Maybe I have. I don't know.
Okay.
Take my money when I'm in need.
I hate you. So it's called Lucy.
Yeah.
When a boyfriend tricks Lucy into delivering a briefcase to a supposed business contact, the once carefree student is abducted by thugs who intend to turn her into a drug mule. She is surgically implanted with a package containing a powerful chemical, but it leaks into her system, giving her superhuman abilities, including telekinesis and telepathy. With her former captors in pursuit, Lucy seeks out a neurologist, Morgan Freeman, who she hopes will be able to help her.
Damn.
And then at the end of the movie, she turns into like an AI.
A full AI. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting. Never seen
like it. She literally like disappears and like turns into an AI.
Really?
Yeah. I heard it was really bad.
Sounds the concept of it seems interesting, but I don't know how the execution was, obviously. But yeah, she's in a lot of stuff. Like, go check it out. Sounds interesting. So
yeah,
I don't know. Up next we have John L as Martin.
Leguizamo.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure that's.
Yeah, he plays Martin. He's like the sous chef. He's like Jon Favreau's or Carl Casper's right hand man. His guy in the chair, if you will. And you know he's like always with him. He hooks him up, helps him out. He's kind of like comedy relief, even though this film is not all that funny. Like he gives that little spark of comedy. And one thing I'd have to mention: what the fuck was with the armband, the little like elbow sleeve that he had on?
He had an elbow sleeve on.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
Throughout the entire movie, you know, like football players or whatever.
Maybe he's got arthritis.
They'll wear
or
like
something.
little like.
Yeah,
what's it called?
Or maybe he was wearing it because that's his
it's like a sweatband.
Maybe that's like his fry cook hand. And he doesn't want to get burnt by the oil.
It was literally this big, though, like up here. So it was kind of strange. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of explanation behind it that we just don't know.
Yeah, arthritis, dude. They were older. Who knows? But he is known for the Ice Age franchise, playing Sid the Sloth.
I thought so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Leprosy.
Yep.
Violent Nights too. He was in that.
Was he really?
Yeah.
The one with
David Harbour.
Yeah, David Harbour.
Yeah. Did you not watch it?
I did, yeah.
You watched it before me. How did you not remember that he's in it?
Dude, I just haven't seen it since it came out. Wasn't it
Christmas
last year?
Much?
Yeah, no. Of course I didn't. I don't remember that.
And a bunch of other stuff.
I have like a goldfish brain. I'm not gonna remember that. Dude.
Yeah, I know you do.
So yeah. What do we have up next?
We have RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. as Marvin, Sofia Vergara's ex-husband, the one that gives Jon Favreau the food truck.
And a little bit of sass.
Yeah.
He's kind of an asshole. Not kind of an asshole. He is an asshole.
It was funny though.
Yeah, no, of course it was. He was the guy to play that role too. Because he's so sarcastic and it literally worked perfectly. So
it was really good.
Nice. Good casting.
He's known for obviously his Marvel, stardom.
Yeah.
As Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. What was the next one he was in? Civil War?
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Civil War, the Avengers.
Well, he made a cameo in The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. That was early.
Then it was The Avengers. Then it was Iron Man 3. Yeah. Then it was Age of Ultron. Then it was this. Then it was that.
Yeah.
He was in everything. Now he's dead. But apparently they're going to bring him back.
Which is so fucking stupid.
I think they need it because Marvel's kind of taking a shit right now.
Yeah, but like, dude, you're just going right back on the biggest movie of literally all time.
I know.
In terms of, that kind of
I get it.
Movies. I don't agree with it at all. I think you just
understand.
move on. You really dive into your new characters and you just develop them out. And
but your new characters suck.
Well, that's because they don't.
Except
do
Shang-Chi.
Right. Shang-Chi is good, but where the fuck has he been? We haven't seen him. You know,
where is he gonna show up? He's just gonna pop up, just be like, "Hey, I'm here."
They just don't. These end credit scenes that we've had, they just don't follow through with them, and like nobody knows what they're doing.
They're so bad.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah.
RDJ is also known for the Sherlock Holmes franchise, and he
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. He also did, what the hell is it called?
Tropic Thunder was so funny.
What is that? The one he did with all the animals?
Doolittle.
Yes, Dr. Doolittle.
No, it was
sorry, not Dr. Doolittle. Yeah, Doolittle.
It was just called Doolittle.
Wrong
but it
movie.
was obviously it was based on Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah. But I never saw it. But
me neither. I heard it was garbage.
Yeah. Up next we have Emjay Anthony as Percy. He was a really good actor in this. This film.
He was actually
I was really impressed.
And he
did a good
fit,
job.
even though he was like young, he like fit the persona of a kid back in 2014, you know,
always on his phone.
Twitter, on this phone,
texting.
Tablet, you know, always doing something.
Oh, mom said yes already.
Yeah.
I'm like, every time that happened, I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
It's like, wow, I wish my mom would answer that quick.
Yeah, I know. I need to be dying in order for that to happen.
Seriously.
Most of the time.
Gotta call her like 8 times.
Yeah. No, he did a good job. I was pretty impressed with him and his job in this.
Yeah, he was great. I really don't know what else he's been in.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's not really a big name.
Yeah, no.
That I've seen, you know.
Especially recently, I haven't seen him at all, so I don't really know. But if we want to jump into some film recap, we have a lot to talk about in terms of what's coming to theaters, what's been in theaters, what's on the silver screen, not the big screen. We don't really talk about TV shows, but there's a lot to talk about in terms of Marvel. I know that this is not nearly at all a MCU film, but there's MCU characters and actors, so it's gonna happen. And you know, there's just so much going on that released literally today, as of
like
November
20 minutes
15th. Ago. So we're gonna hop into it. We have a lot to talk about MCU. I know it happens every episode, and it already did, so it's just bound to happen. Loki season 2,
fantastic.
Loki's just the best Marvel show that's been released. It's no ands if or buts about it.
It's the only one that's got a second season,
exactly.
and I think it was perfect.
Yeah.
Because it had a second season.
I agree. I feel like that's probably one of the only shows that actually I want to or will consider rewatching. Every other TV show that they've released is
maybe
not
WandaVision, but I know, like I
WandaVision,
can remember everything that happened in WandaVision. That's the thing.
I know.
I liked. The thing is, Loki is by far the best MCU show. Yes.
Yeah.
But I liked WandaVision. I liked Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, they were good. They just weren't like, you know, didn't stick with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not one that I'm going to remember.
I think WandaVision was the one that just kind of was like, oh shit,
but wasn't that the first one though?
Yeah.
That's why everybody remembers it.
Well, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. That's what I feel like.
It was just like a big like,
yeah.
Oh shit, this is happening. Oh shit, this is happening.
Yeah. But I feel like Loki by far is the best grouping of TV shows. And I feel like, I don't know if, spoiler warning, I guess, but you know, it ends with him reworking the entire timeline.
Dude, did you not see any of the parallels though?
What do you mean?
Like parallels to other MCU films.
How so?
All he wanted was a throne.
Oh yeah, no, and he gets the throne.
And then throughout the show, you see he doesn't want a throne anymore. He just doesn't want to be alone.
Yeah.
And he says that at the, you know, close to the end of season 2.
Well, yeah.
And now he gets his throne, but he's alone.
I know. And who knows what's next for him?
Nothing. He's done.
Yeah.
14 years of his life. He's done. He said he's done.
He said he's done with it?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought he was going to return at one point.
He might maybe in Secret Wars, but
I don't know.
Now you never know.
And people are giving him a lot of names too. It's a lot of stuff I've read online.
Well, now apparently he is now he who remains.
Yeah.
So another thing.
Some of his names that I've seen are like the God of Time.
Yeah. Well, have you seen like technically, Loki is now like not the keeper of the Time Stone, but like the reason the time stone is green is because of Loki. And time is running through him. Yeah. So that's what people are saying, and I'm like, that's a little
instead of all these vibrant colors.
That's a little far fetched.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe they probably didn't plan for that
because during the sacred timeline, with Avengers Endgame and all that, Loki wasn't the keeper of the time. Like he wasn't He Who Remains. No, it was just recently he became He Who Remains.
But technically, I guess there's nobody knows that because he's
because the TVA
at the
works
end
different.
Of time.
Yeah, but who
like
you don't really know.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. It works that way, but it doesn't work that way. If that makes sense.
But another parallel is when he locks himself in the little area where he's about to go out onto the thing and take all the radiation in and all that stuff. He says, "For you, I'm doing like he's like for you, for all of us." And in the first Thor movie, when Odin catches him with like the scepter or whatever, he has, he says, "I could have done it for you, for all of us."
Yep.
And it's
some parallels.
It's like heartbreaking.
It is, yeah. I feel bad for Loki,
but like, the suit.
Dude, the suit's cool.
Yeah, his horns were pretty fucking sick too.
Yeah, I know.
I thought they were a little goofy at first, but now seeing them like over and over again, I'm like, those are pretty. Those are pretty fucking dope.
Dude, his cape was the strands.
Yeah,
too, I know. Which was really, really well thought out. I thought that was really neat. But
you know what's one thing I wish we got to see was, at the end of it. You see you get the close up on his face, right?
Okay.
You get the close up on his face, and then you just see a single tear fall.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, that would have killed me. I would have loved to see that just because it was, it was such a good shot too. You just see really Loki, cool. Sitting there with like, kind of like a half-cocked smile, like he is happy because he saved everybody.
Yeah, but at what cost?
But now he's by himself and all alone. But also, what was up with the gold thing with the throne?
Oh,
I didn't understand. I didn't get that.
I don't know.
That's one thing I just didn't understand.
Yeah. And what about no end credit scene? That's a little crazy too.
Yeah,
I was kind of surprised by that. Like, not even like a Loki will return, Loki will not return, or like something else, like maybe about Kang, because I know they're trying to move away from Kang and go into Doctor Doom, possibly. Because of the allegations and all that. I don't know. I did not know that, actually. Yeah, they're trying to move away from it. So we'll see.
But you saw, they also mentioned what happened in apparent 616 adjacent realm, which was a nod to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah. What did they do? Like, obviously we heard it, but like, what was it that they mentioned though?
They said it was something about a Kang variant. In 616 adjacent realm, meaning the quantum realm. Okay. So it was, referencing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I didn't catch that. I mean, I heard it obviously, but I didn't put it two and two together, kind of thing. So, that
was probably the simplest thing you could have put together.
Probably, but I didn't think of it, to be honest. Anything else we want to mention for Loki, or can we jump into?
Yeah, we can get into the other stuff. Do we have to?
No, but I want to mention the Marvels.
Do we have to?
So the Marvels, interesting film that just came out. Not debuting as well as everybody. Well, actually, I shouldn't even say that. It probably is debuting as well as everybody thought.
You know what keeps pissing me off?
Like a 6.1.
What keeps pissing me off is Marvel is releasing these shitty films, and then the commercials come out. Oh, it's the #1 film in America. It's like,
it's not.
Is it?
Not.
Is it though?
No, Marvels is debuting right now at a 6.1 on IMDb out of 37,000 ratings. High? Yeah. So I mean, that just means 6.1 of people.
Did you see what Hat Guy gave it?
No, I didn't see that.
Hat Guy gave it an 8.
Oh yeah. Both him and sweater guy. Like that. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They both really enjoyed it. So
and I'm like,
I don't know. I've heard that it's better than the first one. Carol Danvers is a little more fun, but Kamala Khan, I think that's her name. I heard she's the best character in the film.
No way.
That's what I've heard.
No way.
I haven't seen it yet, so
that is not possible. Miss Marvel, I couldn't even watch the first 10 minutes. It was so fucking
It was
cringy
really bad. And I don't know how it's gonna be.
And like, even the actress herself is just very just.
She's a gigantic Marvel fan too.
Yeah.
So she thought it was a prank call when she got the role.
But like even Tom Holland, like Tom Holland's a big Marvel fan, and like he has his little freakouts, but he's not.
It's not a little different. Like, I don't know.
Dramatic, and I don't want to say dramatic, but like I don't know. He's not overly excessive.
Yeah. I don't know. The Marvels, I just feel like there's not much to say on it. I feel like it kind of is doing as good as everybody said. I heard the villain is absolutely dog shit. I was told that this is the worst Marvel villain of all time.
Really?
That there's no story arc.
Worse than Gore, the God Butcher?
I liked Gore. Obviously it wasn't like really, really deep. Obviously she had the kid and whatnot, but like I just wish Gore more than from what I'm hearing.
Gore was more of a God slayer than
kind of a wimp,
a 2 God killer, and
then dies.
I mean, his name is Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah, and you don't really see all of it. Yeah, but that's Marvel for you. So yeah, the villain of this movie apparently is really bad. I don't know much about it. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna see it probably tomorrow after this recording. So maybe in the next episode I'll update you and give you my thoughts on that movie. There's really not much else to say.
I really don't want to watch it.
I don't really want to either, but I'm kind of excited. I heard there was some interesting cameos that you told me about that I haven't been like totally spoiled yet. So that's the only thing that's driving me to watch it. I know I'm going to be heavily disappointed. But I
want to say what they are so bad, but I can't because
I haven't seen it yet. So
I haven't seen it either, but I've gotten spoiled on TikTok.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep off of it. So I don't have it spoiled. Not like I'm like, oh my God, if it's spoiled, like it's ruining the movie for me. No, I kind of want to see it organically. Yeah. But yeah, that's really it for me in terms of the Marvels. I don't know if you have anything else to note.
Not for the Marvels, but there's a bunch of other stuff that dropped today. Yeah. What If Season 2 trailer that is coming December 22nd. Yeah. And they're doing it differently. It's going to be one episode for 9 days. So one episode from December 22nd every day leading up till New Year's Eve. Yeah. Which I think is really, really cool.
Kind of ballsy on their part because Christmas is there. Maybe the numbers aren't going to be as good. But I guess they're like,
But I don't think they care. I think they think the numbers will be there.
They're going to be good. I mean, Marvel's What If Season 1 was a hit, and I think there's so much potential with this. Even if they do like I know Marvel's doing the Spotlight stuff now with like
Spotlight.
It's this new thing that they're trying to do, which is like the street level heroes, which they're connected to the main story, but they're also not connected. It's kind of like they have their own little vibe going on. And I would like to see a what if strictly of like that doesn't. It's each episode is their own thing, not connected to a whole season or whatever. It's like half an hour. It's a Spotlight series, so it's connected but not connected, and it's like all the stories that we want to see as fans.
Well, that's kind of what they did in the first season. Almost they did each episode was not connected, but then the watcher had to pull.
Well, yeah, exactly. So it made it connected. Yeah. But I wanted to see one-offs of each episode. The stories that the fans really, really want to see, and But this is going to be really interesting. What If Season 2? It's a little bit of a Christmas vibe to it. It seems from the trailer. So yeah, we'll see. And it seems like they have like a core team that they're building together. With Hank Pym as the Ant-Man. With what's his name? T'Chaka.
Yeah.
As Black Panther, and then
I want to know who they're gonna get to
Captain Marvel.
Voice him.
I don't know
because he did. I'm pretty sure Chadwick did the voice
for T'Chaka. He did T'Challa, but not
T'Challa. Oh, so this is his dad. This is T'Challa. Oh,
yeah, this is his dad. So it's different.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's keep going. We got the Madam Web trailer today as well. Yeah. November 15th, and that's coming out February 14th, 2024, and it looks like garbage.
I'm intrigued just because of the Spider-Man film, but it looks like it's a fan-made film.
Yeah, but it kind
of reminds me of Spider-Man Lotus. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but
I saw the guy on TikTok reviewing it. Yeah, and he saw the guy from like you see the Spider-Man suit for the first time.
It's a little interesting.
And the guy literally says that's reviewing the trailer. He goes, "What in the Spider-Man Lotus?"
Yeah, exactly. I saw that too.
Yeah,
but it's not wrong. It kind of gives me that vibe. But I mean, I'm interested to see how this works out. There's a lot of Spider-Man lore characters in this film that could pan out and maybe
but like
be
there
interesting.
is, but there isn't.
We have Sydney Sweeney. We have that chick from 50 Shades where she's getting pounded. There's the other chick that we haven't really seen yet. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I'm like,
and then there's the other one who's
really bad.
Who's in the Mark Wahlberg film, and
I
think some other ones. I don't know. I just know her from the Mark Wahlberg one.
Yeah, no, but I'm kind of interested to see how Sony unravels this web. So we'll see.
Where is it? Hold on.
Yeah, let's go. Madam Web coming out February 14th of 2024. Stay tuned for more updates. Maybe we'll update you on that if we get any more information. But let's hop right into the director and their experience. Jon Favreau, he wrote and he directed this film.
And really produced it, obviously. Yeah. And I just went through his directing credits here. Nothing crazy. I didn't want to go through his producer credits because he's got a lot. It's ridiculous. Oh my god. So he directed Elf, Iron Man 1 and 2, one episode of The Office, the live action The Jungle Book, the live action The Lion King, and one episode of The Mandalorian.
Can you tell his Disney ties?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't know he did The Jungle Book or The Lion King.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I went to see it, so in theaters, so like we see it obviously big on the screen.
Right.
But that The Lion King, not Jungle Book. I didn't see Jungle Book. I saw that on Disney Plus.
I didn't watch The Jungle Book. I watched The Lion King though.
Pretty cool. But I don't know if you have any notes for cinematography. I feel like just this was a heavily well shot food movie.
Oh yeah.
Some of the shots were really nice. I mean,
the brisket scene where they're close up on it and you see you get cool. the knife flick, with the noise, and you just see them cutting it. When he's prepping a bunch of the food, and even when he's in his apartment after he quit, he's making all this food and all the shots just look beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean,
really cool.
And this is why I love
like food films or like indie films?
Like food films so much, because they have the best shots, I would have to say.
They do. They're really nice, especially if you're a foodie. Like, come on. There's nothing better than that. I think it's really cool. But obviously we're going to jump into something a little bit later, but I have to mention it now. I guess in terms, I don't know if it's cinematography or like the story itself, but I feel like the budget heavily affected what they could do with this film. Obviously, it's an indie film, so it's a smaller budget. Like that's not secretive at all. So I feel like there were a lot in terms of the visual effects that they did with a lot of, especially with the Twitter.
Right.
Now that's outdated. I like that. And Vine, like anybody in this day and age know what the fuck Vine is. That shit's been gone for ages.
But like we know
Vine
what
2.
Vine is.
Yeah, we know what Vine is because we're old enough. But like kids, imagine a kid like now
just stumbles across it. They're like,
they're
what's
not
Vine?
gonna know what that is. And now Twitter's not even a thing. It's X.
Imagine our kids come up to us and they're like, "What was Vine?"
Yeah, they're gonna say, "What was Twitter?" too, because now that's gone.
Yeah,
that's a whole other thing. But I feel like the visual effects really affected this film. The budget affected this film. The visual effects were like minimal. They only had the Twitter thing, and then at one point they had like the split screen come up when they were driving the truck across the country. They had it split in like into thirds, kind of. 2/3 was taking up the truck, and then they split the other third in half with Jon Favreau on top, and something else in the bottom. I don't remember what it was, but that was literally the only other visual effect throughout this entire movie.
There were some pretty good ones.
Yeah. Music, there was really not much music either, to be honest. It was just, obviously they had the grandfather playing music, and then it was just like
it was a lot of score, not like music.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want, take
merch.
Take merch.
All right, so let's take a break for merch. We don't have all that new stuff on the shop yet.
Stuff.
We might drop our Christmas stuff coming soon. So we'll redrop
that. December 1st, I will.
Yeah,
I'll try to re-up that.
Yeah. So go check it out, oneshotmoviepodcast.net, and use code CHEF for 15% off at the store, oneshotmoviepodcast.net. Hats, shirts, sweatshirts, desk mats, mugs, paddleboard.
Unfortunately, John and I both got new phones.
Yeah.
So we both have to order new phone cases.
I know. We have just,
we normally
plain Jane.
Yeah, we normally would have on our One Shot Movie podcast phone cases.
Yeah.
Now my dad has it because he has my old phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But soon I'm gonna order a new one.
Yeah, I gotta do that too. But, go check it out. OneShotMoviePodcast.net. Use code CHEF for 15% off. Let's hop right back in.
Yep.
What do you got next for us?
So we got movie ratings on websites. IMDb gave this a 7.3 out of 10. Metacritic gave this a 68 with a user score of 7.7. Letterboxd gave it a 3.7 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 87%.
This is interesting. All over the board here, to be honest.
Yes and no.
Kind of.
I mean, IMDb and Metacritic are kind of similar-ish. And even Letterboxd is kind of in there too a little bit.
3.7, it's close enough to a 75-ish. But Rotten
Multiply
Tomatoes...
it by 2.
Yeah.
It's a 74.
Yeah. So Rotten Tomatoes is the highest one. I'm kind of surprised by that, but
yeah, Rotten Tomatoes is I think a little high. I think it's an average movie, which is somewhere in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I liked. I mean, it was an average movie. It was a wholesome average movie.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, and it's those films that you watch every now and then. Maybe a couple years go by, and you watch it again. Oh, like Chef, it was a really good movie. Let's watch it. But it's not like, oh my god, it sticks with me kind of thing, where I need to watch it every year. It's not one of those films. So we'll get into our ratings later. But I don't know. I agree and disagree with some of these. So we'll see. Now let's jump into the opening weekend and overall earnings. Like I said before, the budget was small. It's an indie film. Jon Favreau wanted to get back to his roots, go back to smaller films where he can really just dive in and have some fun. So the budget of this film is $11 million. It's smaller, but they made some money back. Opening weekend didn't do that great.
Opening weekend,
it was pretty bad.
Real bad.
$204,000. Not that great. But overall, it made its money back. But there's marketing budget and everything like that as well. So they made $48 million. So I think they made their fair share from what the budget was. I think they did pretty good. They were pretty successful.
And that's worldwide.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really good. But yeah, like I said, I felt like it was a little bit held back, and they had to put in other scenes to kind of make up for it, which were these off comedy scenes, which kind of made up for the lack of shots in this film. I feel like the budget affected the amount of shots they could have and whatnot, especially with the length. I feel like there were just things missing, when. I know I kind of talked about it before, but when Jon Favreau says, when oh my god, I'm sorry, when he gets asked to go to Miami, he obviously they show the kid up top in his room listening in, but I would have wanted to see him ask his son. The relationship isn't great. He just said that he wouldn't go to New Orleans with him.
Right.
Go ask your son, hey, would it be okay if I went with you to Miami? Have the interaction, even despite him, listening in. Have that scene afterward. It's it kind of makes up for it. And they're, that's the first thing of them getting a little bit closer.
Right.
And then it obviously jumps into everything else where they eventually go to New Orleans on their way back from doing all that stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel
just wholesome.
That's just one of the scenes that I feel like it was missing a little bit of interaction.
Yeah.
There were just certain times where it just you're going, and just jumps to something else. I feel like they needed a little bit more filler, rather than just random, scenes. But that's just my opinion. So we'll jump forward.
So now we're gonna jump into our favorites. Favorite quote and favorite scene. To be honest, I don't think I have a favorite quote from this one.
I don't either.
No. Maybe just when he was the whole quote of him going off on, the critic, because he's it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
But my favorite scene, I think, and it shows it very well, and it shows the connection between the Jon Favreau and his son, and even Martin, where they're singing in the truck, and the kid's embarrassed, and he's oh my god, what are they doing? And then the kid starts,
it's nice.
He starts getting into the song with them, and I thought that was very wholesome and very needed.
Yeah, it was really good. For me, it's kind of similar. It's when they first get the truck going. It's that first day when they bribe these guys to all the workers to help them move the stuff in, and then they have to make them sandwiches. That whole sequence is really nice. And then after they're done at night, they're just chilling. He lets his son have a sip of the beer, and then whole interaction is really cool. And then it jumps, bam. Next day, the truck is pimped out.
It's cool. That was cool.
So that's my favorite sequence. Favorite quote, I think it's the cornstarch line. Dad, he just put cornstarch on his balls.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't really think of anything that's like a more serious quote that I really enjoyed, but I think it was cool.
That was funny. And then and then Favreau's like, "Really?
Let me get some."
Yeah.
I think it was pretty good. But yeah, that we don't really have much else for you. We just jump right into our ratings.
Yeah. So acting, I think the acting was very, very good. Even the kid.
Yeah, I was impressed.
For being, he looks very young. Mm-hmm. So for that,
you're good.
I just wanted to make sure. Mm-hmm. For the kid being very young, I think it was very good. So I'm gonna give acting an 8 because it was good. Everybody, played their part well. Even Sofia Vergara, who sometimes her acting is not so great because of her accent and all that stuff, but it was very, very good.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Plot, I enjoyed the plot a lot, especially the wholesome content with Jon Favreau and his son.
Yeah, that's what made it.
So that's gonna get an 8 from me as well. Rewatchability, I'm gonna give it a 6 because, I will go back and rewatch it, but like you said, it's not something I'll rewatch like every year. Yeah. And overall, I'm gonna give it a 7 because it was an average movie. I really enjoyed it, and it was just very like we keep saying, it was very wholesome.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of similar. For me, I feel like acting, I'm gonna give an 8. It's really enjoyable. Everybody did a good job. The script was nice, so that gives props to the acting and vice versa. Everybody executed really well. The plot, it was okay. It was good, but I feel like they were kind of not missing the whole point of the father and son thing, which they got to eventually. I just feel like the audience was missing the main point.
Right.
So the plot in itself, they did a good job. I'm gonna give that a 8 as well. Rewatchability, like I said, it's not that great. In terms of rewatchability, so I'm gonna give it like a 7 because it was good. Maybe I'll rewatch it in a couple years. We'll see. An overall rating, I'm between a 7 and an 8, so I'm gonna go with like a 7.5. I know we don't normally do it, but I've done it a couple episodes recently. It's just like it's not good enough to be an 8, but it's not bad enough to be a 7. Right. It's really enjoyable film. It's just I don't know.
It's thinking a really good, heartwarming film. 7.5, but I don't like doing decimal points.
Yeah. See, I don't really mind anymore because some movies just have to. I feel like they're not as good as one number, but they're also not as, I don't want to say bad as another, but they're like stuck in limbo in between. But like I said, I really enjoyed this film, so overall I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. It's an average movie. It's good. It's just not elite. Yeah. There's nothing about it that I'm going to remember wholesome all the time. You know what I mean? But I enjoyed it. It's a good film. 7.5 for me. So, yeah.
But that's it for this episode. Next episode is coming out December 4th, and it will be a Christmas movie. Maybe we'll do my Christmas movie, my
Christmas Story.
Yeah, Christmas Story.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do it this year.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Since we didn't get to do it last year.
Yeah, we did the peak Christmas movie.
Christmas Story is a classic.
I'm not saying it's not.
So is National Christmas Vacation. But
come on, best Christmas movie of all time. I don't know. Let us know your thoughts in the comments of this episode. Let us know what you want to see next. Let us know your favorite moment from this episode and what Christmas movie is your favorite, because we're going to talk about that in the next episode. Yeah. So get ready.
Make sure to follow us on all of our socials: Instagram, One Shot Movie Podcast Official, Twitter, One Shot Movie Pod, Letterboxd, One Shot Movie Pod, Facebook and TikTok is One Shot Movie Podcast.
Perfect.
Yeah. And I think that's it. That's a wrap. You're now tuned in to the One Shot Podcast hosted by Vincent and Jonny.
This show contains movie spoilers, R-rated content, and Hollywood's hottest takes on movies old and new.
Listen at your own risk.